Hi, and welcome to Trisha's Orchid Life. Thank you so much for coming by for a visit. I appreciate that. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you decide to come back. And if you are a returning visitor, thanks again. Today, I am going to be a rebel. So we have a bifoliate Cattleya. We have, I believe, absolutely no roots viable in this pot. Look how wobbly she is. I took all the stakes and everything out. I got her in June from a local orchid nursery here in Colorado called Fantasy Orchids, and she was sold to me as, let me get this tag, as the RLC Miko Arakai Volcano Queen. There we go. However, when she bloomed, and I will post a picture of her bloom, when she bloomed, she was a white Cattleya that resembles the Hawaiian song, the variation Virgin. So that is kind of what I'm thinking this is. I do have another one of her, I'm pretty sure. And I was going through and I noticed that I had some rock. This is a charcoal rock. So I'm going to take her out of the bark, and I did just water her this morning, so the bark's gonna be wet, but that's okay. I'm going to take her out of this, put her in this. She has 3 new growths, one of which is close to maturing, which is this one here you can't really see yet. I don't think it's going to bloom, so I'm hoping that she produces roots. I may end up cutting her, some of her back canes off just to kind of make room in this pot and to kind of make her a little more upright, and I can probably just pull her right on out. Yep. Oh, I do see one growing tip. There is hope. There is hope, Obi-Wan. You are our last hope. There's one. So with that, then let me just move her out of the way. And I'm just gonna reuse the same pot. So I'm just gonna dump this bark, and I'll let this bark and everything dry out because she's only been in here for a few months. Let me see, did I write when I repotted her? Of course not. I will just move that out of the way, and let's get her all cleaned up. I've had these soaking for a little bit. I did bring my cinnamon just in case I decide to cut her rhizome, but all of these down here are dead. And as you can see, I cut quite a lot of roots off when I did repot her. I'll find the video where I repotted her. There's another viable root. And it looks like she's gonna end up with 3. Nope, it looks like 2 roots is what she's gonna end up with, maybe a couple more underneath here. Okay, so let's just take off what we can see is completely gone. And for those of you who are new to orchids or Cattleyas in general, the reason I said I'm going to be a rebel is because with bifoliate Cattleyas, they're very finicky, and all of these roots I'm cutting off were nice when I put them in here. And they are known to drop their roots when they are disturbed. So you really should repot them when you see new roots coming. She is not doing anything. If I lose her, I won't be too upset. Like I said, I'm pretty certain I have the same one already. If she ends up keeling all the way over and just going on to orchid heaven, I'm not gonna be upset about it. I know that sounds really cold, but she's not what I was expecting. And although she is a beautiful, beautiful orchid when she blooms, that one's pretty viable, I'm not going to be too concerned. And that's why I'm gonna use her as kind of my experiment to see if this kind of more coarse and airier, quicker drying will encourage her to kind of recover. Let me know if you have bifoliate Cattleyas that you find a bit more finicky than the rest of your Cattleya collection. So far, my unifoliate are not quite as picky. So we do have some new root. This root right here is actually growing off of this cane here, and I see an eye developing on that one as well. All right, and I'll fast forward over the rest of this, guys, while I get her all cleaned up so I can really concentrate on what I'm doing and not cut roots that are viable. So I am going to go ahead and I'm gonna cut these back ones off. There's one. There we go. And we'll just throw that piece away. And she is clean. She's very woody there, so that's good. All right. Let me finish getting her cleaned up, guys. Now that we've got rid of some of the stuff that was in our way. This is what we have. So when you do cut a Cattleya, you want to make sure you have at least 3, preferably 4 growths to help support. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 left on here. So I have a growth here that is finishing, that she lost one of her leaves for whatever reason. And then we have this one here that has only grown 1 leaf. And then we have this one here, right here, that is now a bifoliate that like I said, I don't think she's going to bloom just because of all the stress I put her under, but she'll be more manageable now that I've cut these 2 back pieces off, because especially this one was kind of hanging and that one was hanging, and I will get her supported in the pot. Like I said, if she keels over, I'm not going to be too upset because she's not the bloom I wanted. And I know some people would have left a lot of these roots on for anchoring, and with this larger, more airy media, it probably would have just washed out as I watered. But I tend to get a little radical and out of hand when it comes to cleaning up roots. So I'll just put some of this at the bottom, and as I watered her already and those roots are already wet, I won't water her again after I'm done with this. And I have stakes just in case I need them. Let's see, we have a growth here. Let me see if there's any eyes back here. Well, there's one there, but it doesn't look like some. I'm actually going to put her in kind of like that. And I'll put her in a little bit lower for right now, just because she is a little top heavy. Let me know if you've used this in the past and if you found any success. From the research I've done, I understand that the ones who like that quick dry cycle like Cattleyas do, this kind of media works really, really well. And I think it's Todd from Todd's Tropicals that I know he uses a lot of lava rock, and I believe he uses the charcoal as well, the chunky charcoal like this. So we shall see what happens here. And then I'll put a couple of pieces up under here just to support her a little bit. And then we'll just fill in the gaps over on this side. And I've got the older growth here, but she does have this new growth that possibly can go this way. She's got growth here that can go to that side, and then we've got one that can come this way. And these 2 back ones actually both have active eyes on them, so they have the potential to bloom out as well. Not bloom out, I wish they'd bloom out. Grow out, I guess, is probably the better word. Let's see. Yeah, she's actually not that flimsy in here. I may stake just on either side just to give her that additional support while she is settling in to the newer setup here. I can get it to go into the rock here. Probably should have done this before I started filling in all this rock, because now I got to get around it. And I'm just going to use my little Velcro straps here. I've got a couple of different sizes I cut. And to hold her in place while she adapts to her new little setup here. Does anybody else ever feel like they're working with a puzzle when they're trying to get an orchid where they need it to be in the pot? So in this one here, yep, so one of the new growths has already got a growth starting on it. All right, probably want to put another piece right here just to support that stay in the pot. There, now I think she's a little more sturdy, so when new roots decide to come out, they can come out. And I've got a space here, but you can see she's got several new growths that she's already working on. So like I said, I mean, I do want her to go ahead and survive, but if I lose her, I'm not going to be real upset about it, just because I do have another one with the same exact bloom on it. So it's not like I'd be losing anything. I would still have one, and that one is recovering rather nicely as well. All right, well guys, I appreciate you coming by, and go ahead and leave your comments down below and let me know if you've used this charcoal rock in the past, or are you currently using it? What's your success rate? What have you found out about it? Thought I'd experiment with it. And like I said, I'd experiment with this one, and I am being a rebel. So for those of you in the comments, I do know I should have waited for new root growth. I know I'm repotting her at the wrong time, but she's already declining, so I really can't do any worse than this. Go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe if you would, it would help me, and I will see you guys on the next one. Be sure to stay safe and have a great day.